Bonjour tout le monde, Jim Bass, maire de l'arrondissement de Pierrefonds-Roxborough, accompagné de Catherine Clément-Talbot, Louise Leroux, Yves Gignac et Benoît Langevin, notre conseil de l'arrondissement de Pierrefonds-Roxborough pour cette séance extraordinaire de 29 juin 2020. Hello everyone, Jim Bass, mayor of Pierrefonds-Roxborough, accompanied by or with Catherine Clément-Talbot, Louise Leroux, Yves Gignac et Benoît Langevin, Council for the Borough of Pierrefonds-Roxborough for this special sitting on June the 29th, 2020. J'aimerais proposer une minute de silence pour les victimes du COVID-19. I would like to propose a moment of silence for the victims of the COVID-19 pandemic. Merci.
Alors, bonjour, Suzanne Corbeil, secrétaire d'arrondissement à Pierrefonds-Roxborough. Nous allons procéder à la période de questions qui ont été reçues par courriel vendredi dernier. Donc, la première question nous vient de Madame Gianna Valentino. We have forwarded you a petition on June 19 signed by the neighbors on Rue d'Auville and Rue de Boulogne requesting no parking signs and local circulation signs. Given the increase in violence and drug activities in our quiet neighborhood, what are you as councillors and mayor prepared to do to keep our residents and children safe?
Thank you very much for the question, Mrs. Valentino. We were all very concerned with the recent activities on your street and in your area. And for that reason, not only did we communicate with our local SPVM on numerous occasions to increase the presence in that area, we've also asked for the Circulation Committee and Safety and Traffic Committee that's chaired by Mr. Yves Gignac, who is a councillor in your district, to look through the petition and some of the specific requests that you and your neighbors made regarding the no parking, the circulation for local residents only, among other issues that we're looking at to try to create some sense of security for the residents in that area. All of this was presented to the committee, and some recommendations have come of this. What we will plan to do as we move forward is to mobilize on the ground with the local residents of the area and visit you at your doors to explain what some of the results of this meeting were and some of the suggestions that we may have to be able to at least create some security in your area and allow you to at least live peacefully as you've always done in that area. The recent events, of course, are events that are being looked at by the SPVM and will continue to do so up until such time we get indication that there are no issues or any further issues in that area. At the moment, this has been studied by our committee, and we will be getting back to you within, I would say, within the next week or so, where we will be visiting the residents of that area at your doors to be able to explain the situation and the outcome. Thank you very much for taking the time to write us.
Madame Louise Neveu, compte tenu du haut volume de circulation et de la vitesse des automobilistes, est-ce que les résidents de la 14e rue à Roxborough peuvent espérer que vous prendrez des mesures d'atténuation prochainement? Nous sommes nombreux à le souhaiter car la rue est devenue une voie de transit qui ressemble à un boulevard aux heures de pointe. Je vous remercie.
Madame Neveu, merci beaucoup pour la question. Effectivement, vous avez raison. Et ce n'est pas la première fois qu'on voit beaucoup d'autos sur 14e, 19e, 9e, 11e, dans le fond, le secteur sud à Roxborough. Et on a plusieurs raisons pourquoi, mais la raison principale pourquoi on voit beaucoup de trafic sur cette rue, c'est parce qu'on fait la construction majeure sur Gouin, comme vous savez très bien, entre 4e Nord et 1er Nord. Et les gens prennent de qu'est-ce qu'on voit, 14e, Boulevard des Sources et 14e, les gens qui sont habitués de descendre Boulevard des Sources et prendre Gouin, direction Est, prennent maintenant le 14e la 14e, 11e, après ça, 4e rue pour aller chercher le boulevard Gouin un peu plus loin dans l'est. Ceci étant dit, on sait très bien qu'on a une problématique, un enjeu dans ce secteur et c'est pour cette raison qu'on a demandé à M. Gignac de présenter ce dossier encore, parce que ce n'est pas la première fois. On a déjà étudié la situation sur 14e rue, mais on va le faire encore au comité de circulation avec M. Gignac et j'espère trouver des solutions pour aider les résidents qui demeurent dans ce quartier tranquille et en même temps, comme on fait d'habitude pour ce genre de situation, on va informer l'SPVM et l'SPVM, on espère, va augmenter la présence sur 14e, entre autres, dans le secteur sud de Roxborough. Merci encore pour la question.
Madame Sarina Conti, I live on Rue de Boulogne in Pierrefonds. We were flooded in 2017, but not in 2019. The city put large cinder blocks on the waterfront as preventative measure, which we have learned will be staying there, and grass was placed around them. They are a terrible eyesore and not even uniform. My husband offered to place natural stone boulder from our foundation excavations after the first flood, but he was told that the city would do something better. This is not better. My question is, can a more appealing aesthetic solution be put in place on the large, ugly cinder block?
Mrs. Conti, thank you very much for your question. We understand the incredible stress and anxiety that the residents, not only in your area, have dealt with in the last number of years, but also how worried you must be for future years to come, knowing that this is a possibility as we move forward. You mentioned it in your question. This is a temporary measure that we've taken in that area. These blocks were placed initially to be able to reinforce the dike that was in place because we realized with the waves and the wind that the dikes that were built by us, again, temporarily, were starting to shift and erode. And because of that, these blocks were placed to be able to secure the area successfully, I must say, and we were able to do that not only in 2019, but again this past spring. We are looking at some other measures, not only for your area, but other sectors throughout, particularly the western tip of our borough. And this hasn't been always easy, knowing that we need authorization by the Minister of Environment, as we don't have the authority to be able to work on the waterfront. It is a provincial jurisdiction, but we have voiced our opinion on numerous occasions to be able to find a more suitable long-term solution. And at the moment, this is a temporary measure that we've placed. I understand that it is a visible issue for the folks that live in that area that have used to be able to see the water from there having a natural grass slope. But at the moment, I can tell you that we have addressed this issue with our services and we will look at other options. But quite honestly, in the short term, those blocks will be staying at least until the next flood season, which will be next year. And then hopefully by then, we'll have more concrete measures that we'll be able to put in place again with the authority given by the provincial government and the City of Montreal. So I ask for your patience and understanding under these difficult times, and we will hopefully be able to address this, I think, in a more convenient way as we move forward. Thank you again for writing us this question.
Mrs. Martha Bound, two questions. The first one concerning item 40.07, the written consultation for the minor exemption request for the proposed four-story condominium at 17,124 Gilly Street. What are the flooding prevention measures? The 2017 flood limit encroaches on the public footprint, the building footprint, as shown on the site plan. And the second question, why is there no borough employees during the closed-door council meeting who has expertise to explain details concerning urban planning, construction, or public works as during regular public council meetings?
Thank you, Mrs. Bond, for the question. And in fact, there are services with us online. You may not see them on your screen. I'm not sure the visual that you see, but they are connected with us. And they do provide us the information, of course, if we don't know it, or we don't have it readily available, to be able to provide that once residents ask their questions. And of course, always being available electronically, whether it be by phone if needed, or even by email. The services are available to be able to answer these questions more in detail. And as per the information that was given to you in regards to a written consultation for a minor variance accompanying the PIIA, firstly, the building will be sited within the buildable area of the property, not subject to flooding in 2017 and 2019. And in fact, there will be no underground parking in that area, and we'll have the parking laid out on the first floor. So this is really above, almost above the highest level of the street. So it isn't a floodable zone where the building is projected, however. And so taking all of this into consideration, the building itself will not have any issues regarding any floodable zone, as the zone doesn't get to that point. Because of the present COVID situation, as we mentioned, we can't physically be here. I'm the only one in the council chamber right now. Everyone else is isolated in their own, either in their own homes or in other areas, to be able to provide us at least this privilege of offering a council meeting live to you like we are at the moment. However, the services are always in communication with us, and they are here available to me should I need to answer a question more in detail. And again, as I mentioned to you before, and as you know more than anyone, we urge you to communicate with us otherwise, and we'd be happy to be able to provide you more detailed information on this or any other file that you may have in mind. Thank you very much, and I hope everyone is safe, Mrs. Bond.
Mr. James Bond, concerning item 40.07, minor exemption near Julie Street, near Gouin West and St. Charles, given that the request for minor exemption concerns building setbacks and the building is still in the conception phase, why is this under consideration when the architect, developer, could simply modify their plans to respect setbacks? The zoning bylaws has required setbacks for presumably some good reason. How can the borough consider granting the exemptions without a convincing justification? If you know the justification, can you please elucidate?
Architects, Mr. Bond, thank you very much for your question. Architects are often confronted with site-specific constraints that make design work very difficult in terms of an absolute bylaw conformity. This isn't the first time, and we suspect that it will not be the last time. In this case, take in the presence of the flood zone areas within the property and take in irregular geometry of the site and add it to the basic requirements involved through design, work for a multi-type building, for example, where we talk about interior ground level parking, the main lobby, the elevator, hallways, mirror dwelling units, for example. The minor variances, in our opinion, are justified to ensure the best project possible on the specific site. All of this goes through the regular process, as you are aware of, and will continue to do so up until its final approval. And so all of these things being considered, we are hopeful and optimistic that a project that makes sense for this area will be presented and approved if that is the case at our council level. Thank you very much, Mr. Bond, for the question.
Alors, ceci met fin à la période de questions.
Merci. Le 10, ça nous amène à l'ordre du jour. 10.03, que soit adopté l'ordre du jour de la séance du conseil d'arrondissement.
Je propose.
J'appuie.
Merci, M. Gignac et Mme Leroux. 20.01, que le Conseil accorde à l'organisme sans but lucratif Groupe Uni des éducateurs naturalistes et professionnels en environnement un montant de 1 701,23 $ provenant du budget de fonctionnement 2020 pour la préparation de la saison 2020 du port de plaisance de Pierrefonds-Roxboro situé au 155 rue Rose à Pierrefonds, qui a été annulé en raison des mesures préventives liées à la COVID-19.
Je propose.
J'appuie.
Madame Leroux et Monsieur Langevin. 20.02. Que le Conseil accorde le contrat numéro SP 2020-04 pour les années 2020 et 2021 avec une option de renouvellement pour l'année 2022 au soumissionnaire ayant obtenu le meilleur pointage WAA Montréal Inc. pour une somme maximale de 454 036,28, taxes incluses. Le coût maximal va être porté à 748 602,23 si l'option est exercée pour l'année 2022 pour des services professionnels pour la gestion et la surveillance de projets sur des ouvrages en architecture de paysage dans l'arrondissement de Pierrefonds à Roxborough.
Je propose.
J'appuie.
J'appuie.
J'ai M. Gignac et M. Langevin sur le 2002. 2003. Que le Conseil octroie le contrat numéro ST-20-07 pour des travaux de remplacement des portes et des fenêtres extérieures dans les bâtiments des travaux publics et du Centre communautaire de l'Ouest dans l'arrondissement de Pierrefonds-Roxborough.
Je propose.
J'appuie.
J'ai Mme Talbot et M. Langevin. Merci. 30.01. Que le Conseil approuve la répartition des sommes du solde reporté de 2019 au programme triennal d'immobilisation 2020, 2021 et 2022.
Je propose.
J'appuie.
Monsieur Gignac et Madame Leroux, merci. 40.01. That the Council decree that the adoption process of the bylaw CA 290040-42, modifying zoning bylaw CA 290040, in order to bring the following modifications: addition of Article 65.1 regarding seasonal kiosks for the outdoor sale of fruits and vegetables, and modification of Article 311 in order to add sandwich panels as temporary sign authorized, continue, and that the holding of public consultation meetings be replaced by a 15 days public written consultation procedure according to the provisions of the Ministerial Order number 2020-33 of the Minister of Quebec Health and Social Services taken by virtue of a Public Health Act.
I propose.
J'appuie.
Messieurs Langevin, Madame Talbot, merci. 40.02. Que le Conseil prenne acte du dépôt de procès-verbal de la consultation écrite relative au règlement CA 29-0040-43, modifiant le règlement de zonage CA 29-0040 afin de modifier la grille de spécification de la zone C-4-280 pour y ajouter les usages autres services de l'automobile. Seul le service de réparation de vitres et remplacement de pare-brise est autorisé, et services de location automobile, ainsi que les notes qui s'y rattachent, tenues le 12 au 27 juin 2020, conformément aux dispositions de l'arrêt ministériel numéro 2020-33, pris par le ministre de la Santé et des Services sociaux en vertu de la loi sur la santé publique.
Je propose.
J'appuie.
Merci. 40.03, c'est le même dossier. That be adopted second draft bylaw CA 290040-43, modifying zoning bylaw CA 290040 in order to modify the specification chart of C-4-280 zone to add and uses other automobile services. Only the window repair and windshield replacement services is authorized, and car rental services, as well as the accompanying notes, to pursue the adoption procedure of this draft bylaw in accordance with the rules of the May 7th, 2020 Ministerial Order number 2020-33 by bringing the necessary adaptations to the referendum procedure, namely by establishing a remotely registration process of the qualified voters and, if need be, by organizing and holding a referendum by correspondence according to the conditions provided by the bylaw on absentee voting.
Je propose.
J'appuie.
Encore une fois, Mme Talbot et Mme Leroux, 4004. Que soit adopté le règlement CA 29-01-22 autorisant l'emprunt de 2 millions pour les travaux relatifs aux bâtiments municipaux et à l'acquisition de mobilier de bureau pour l'arrondissement de Pierrefonds-Roxboro dans le cadre du programme triennal d'immobilisation, que la procédure de tenue de registre soit remplacée par une procédure d'enregistrement des personnes habiles à voter d'une durée de 15 jours durant laquelle la transmission de demande écrite à la municipalité tient lieu du registre tel que prescrit par l'arrêt ministériel numéro 2020-33 du 7 mai 2020 et qu'à cette fin soient publiés les avis publics requis.
Je propose.
J'appuie.
Monsieur Langevin, Madame Leroux, merci. 4005. Que le Conseil prenne acte du dépôt du procès-verbal de la consultation écrite relative à PP-2018-004-1, modifiant le PP-2018-004, adopté à la séance du 19 décembre 2018 par le retrait de la condition exigeant une façade connexe tenue du 11 au 26 juin 2020, conformément aux dispositions de l'arrêté ministériel numéro 2020-33, pris par le ministre de la Santé et des Services sociaux en vertu de la loi sur la santé publique.
Je propose.
J'appuie.
Merci, Monsieur Gignac et Monsieur Langevin. 4006, c'est le même dossier. That be adopted the PP-2018-004-01 modifying PP-2018-004 adopted at the December 19, 2018 sitting by the removal of the condition demanding a convex front facade.
Je propose.
J'appuie.
Monsieur Gignac, Monsieur Langevin, merci beaucoup. 4007. Que le Conseil prenne acte du dépôt du procès-verbal de la consultation écrite relative à la demande de dérogation mineure pour le 17 124 rue Julie, tenue du 11 au 26 juin 2020, conformément aux dispositions de l'arrêté ministériel numéro 2020-33, pris par la ministre de la Santé et des Services sociaux en vertu de la loi de la santé publique.
Je propose.
J'appuie.
Merci. J'ai Mme Talbot et Mme Leroux. 4008, c'est le même dossier. That be granted minor exemption. Request number 30016131113 concerning lots 1349199 and 1349202. Projected address 17,124 rue Julie, aiming to regularize the distance between the projected main building and the rear line and the distance between the main building and the east side line.
Je propose.
J'appuie.
Encore Mme Talbot et Mme Leroux, merci beaucoup. 4009. Que le Conseil décrète que la demande de dérogation mineure numéro 33-0019-15694 concernant le lot 1072160 au 15 951 rue Sainte-Croix, visant à régulariser la distance entre le bâtiment principal et la ligne latérale du côté sud fasse l'objet d'une consultation écrite d'une durée de 15 jours en vertu de l'arrêté ministériel numéro 2020-33 pris par le ministère de la Santé et des Services sociaux du Québec.
Je propose.
J'appuie.
Monsieur Gignac et Mme Leroux, merci. 40.10. that the council decree that the minor exemption request number 30019599654 concerning lot 1071285 at 4194 Rue des Rosiers, aiming to regularize the distance between the existing main building and the rear line, the distance between the main building and the swimming pool, the distance between the accessory building and the swimming pool, as well as the distance between the accessory building and the rear sidelines, be the object of 15 days written consultation according to the Ministerial Order number 2020-33 taken by the Minister of Quebec Health and Social Services.
I propose.
I concur.
Monsieur Langevin et Monsieur Gignac, merci. 40-11. Que soit approuvé le PIA pour la construction d'un bâtiment multifamilial de 18 logements sur 4 étages à l'adresse projetée 17 124 rue Julie.
Je propose.
J'appuie.
Madame Leroux et Monsieur Gignac, merci. 40.12. Que soit approuvé le PIA pour la construction d'un nouveau bâtiment unifamilial isolé de 2 étages au 53 6e Avenue.
Je propose.
J'appuie.
Monsieur Langevin, Madame Leroux, 40.13. Que soit approuvé le PIA pour la construction d'un nouveau bâtiment unifamilial isolé de 2 étages au 55 6e Avenue.
Je propose.
J'appuie.
Encore Monsieur Langevin, Madame Leroux, merci. Ça nous amène à 70.01. C'est la fin de la séance.
Je propose.
J'appuie.
Monsieur Gignac et Monsieur Langevin, sur ce, je vous demande, soyez prudents. Stay safe, everyone. This pandemic is still there, and do everything that we can to protect each other. On vous encourage de porter un masque, un porte-visage. We are asking you to wear anywhere that you need to in public spaces the mask, as that is what is needed to protect us all getting through this pandemic. Thank you very much et bonne journée à tous. Merci.